designed to teach important lessons in a high-energy way. 2. Legal explanation of my project. The film also serves as a public legal introduction to my project. It explains what happened to the world with and without the project, why the project exists, and what benefits it brings to all good lives. The goal is to show how this project supports a better world, a safer world, and a more stable future for everyone. 3. Entertainment and a high-class humor. Even though the film carries important messages, it also includes high-class funny moments. The type of refined humor enjoyed in the better world or heavenly realms. These scenes give you a good laugh, a light heart, and a happy mind. At the same time, the film adds a touch of safe, non-violent, scary, fun moments that create a gentle, goosebumped feeling without harming anyone. This combination makes the film educational, legal, uplifting, and entertaining. A unique blend designed to awaken, guide, and inspire all viewers. Then end of the voice introduction.
As I looked around for the first time, everything was bright, loud, and different. I whispered inside my tiny mind, "Is anybody around? What is going on with this world?" Even as a newborn, life first begins in a quiet, limitless space where everything is calm and unshaped. In this gentle darkness, a pure spirit rests, learning balance and purpose. When the moment is right, I am male, and my nickname in the better world is High A Winner. This is the name I use in the God unit. We do not compare ourselves to others, but if you ask, I will tell the truth. The better world ranks much higher than the Science World Project. Here we create things that help life thrive, healthy, normal, and meeting the basic standards of system. I am working on a project to build a world where life can flourish. Somehow, a hidden force took hold of me and sent me to Earth to live as a human. I arrived in this science world through birth, entering the human experience from the very beginning. I forgot everything that happened before that moment. My memories of the original realm disappeared, and I lived like a true newborn, starting fresh.
I was born in Vietnam, and the people who raised me at the beginning were what I call my biological parents to me. Biological parents are the caretakers selected within the science world system to look after a spirit entering a young physical life. Their role is mainly to guide, feed, and shape the early years of that young life. When I was a baby, they cared for me in the usual way, giving milk and basic nourishment. But after I turned 1 year old, the common science world teaching shifted toward introducing animal-based food instead of a gentle vegan path. Many young people who start eating that way early may later feel strong cravings for it. Some might call it temptation, others might describe it as a type of food habit that becomes harder to change as time goes on. But teaching someone to continue eating animal-based food also leads them into a lifestyle that relies heavily on animals for meals, which is not the most uplifting or compassionate choice for a world that needs healing, balance, and care for all living beings. In the beginning, I was deeply influenced by the science world system, shaped by its lessons, traditions, and the expectations of family and society. I followed what I was taught, eating meat, going to school, and thinking constantly about how to survive in that world, just like many others. In Vietnam during the 1990s, many parents adhered to an old tradition of strict discipline, believing it was the proper way to guide young people. They often asked teachers to continue this approach at school, so harsh methods in the classroom were common, and neither the schools nor the government questioned them. The belief was that strict discipline would prevent young people from making mistakes, like talking during lessons, copying work, or not listening to instructions. Yet even in such a rigid environment, small moments of mischief found their way into daily life. At school, I once discovered caterpillars in the trees. I caught them and playfully tried to scare my female friends. Unsurprisingly, they ran to tell the teacher, and I got in touch with brief adventure in an otherwise tightly scheduled life. Over time, as society began to change and people recognized the effects of such practices, it became clear that strict discipline was no longer acceptable. Teachers who continued it could face legal consequences. Meanwhile, my own parents kept me occupied from morning until night. I spent the days at school, then moved from one additional class to another, only to return home with even more assignments, from sunrise to bedtime. My life was completely scheduled, leaving little space for rest, play, or personal exploration.
Exploring the old classrooms. Now, follow me as we explore some old classical classrooms from the 1980s. These rooms are very worn and weathered, carrying decades of history. Students once spent their days here, learning in the traditional way. Take a look. Dusty wooden desks and chairs. The chalkboards still etched with faint writing from years gone by. It's creepy. Who is that? What is someone doing in the classroom this late? In the corner, a lone figure stands. A female Vietnamese student wearing a white shirt and blue pants. Her long hair covers her face, giving her a ghostly, mysterious appearance. That kid looks scary. I think I'm out of here. See ya. The shadows stretch across the room, making the old classroom feel even lonelier and eerie. The nostalgia mixes with a playful chill, capturing the timeless atmosphere of learning, mystery, and childhood memories.
Looking back at Vietnam in the 1,990 seconds, I vividly remember the streets, bustling markets, and the simple yet colorful life of its people. After 14 years of being born and growing up in this country, I observed a deep truth about what people truly desire. Even amidst the daily struggles of the time, scarce resources, busy street vendors, and a society gradually opening to new opportunities, people longed for independence, freedom, and the ability to live according to their own choices. They wanted not just survival, but a life that was healthy, prosperous, balanced, and grounded in fairness and legality. True well-being did not come merely from wealth or possessions. It arose from making thoughtful decisions, cultivating a stable mind and body, and living harmoniously within the community. In daily life, people naturally sought what was wholesome and nourishing, not harmful or inferior. I often recall the Vietnamese saying from the story Tam và Cam, Người thì thích cơm tấm chứ không phải thích cơm cam. A metaphor for how people desire the good and nourishing, rather than what is lesser or not fully beneficial. This principle applied across every aspect of life in the 1,990 seconds, from the meals families prepared, to the trades and work people performed, to the relationships they nurtured and the careful choices made to sustain health, financial stability, and fairness. Even in times when life was simple and resources were limited, people understood the importance of seeking what was right, beneficial, and ethical. Yet, looking deeper into society, I also saw a troubling reality. Many parents and teachers imposed their own rules on children, often in harmful ways. Young lives were taught to eat animals for meat, disciplined through public beatings, and expected to spend entire days at school, all in the name of preparing them to follow the same path as adults. Laws and enforcement often ignored these abuses, allowing the pattern to continue unchecked. Children were expected to grow up doing exactly what their elders wanted, even when those ways forcing obedience, promoting cruelty toward animals, and denying freedom were wrong. This system denied children the ability to experience freedom, enjoy life, or eat wholesome, ethical food. Instead, it reinforced a cycle where children were trained to accept abuse and conform to a rigid model, a societal setup I now recognize as part of the science world mentality. To live a life that is both healthy and wealthy, balance is essential. Physical health forms the foundation, maintained through proper nutrition, daily activity, and mindful habits suited to local life. Mental and emotional well-being follows.
Victory!
Nurtured by learning, self-reflection, and supportive relationships. Financial understanding, though often informal in 1,990 seconds Vietnam, was rooted in responsible resource management, ensuring security and the ability to help others. Legal awareness is equally important, guiding actions to align with fairness and societal standards while protecting oneself and others. Ultimately, a truly healthy and wealthy life is holistic. It integrates body, mind, spirit, resources, and ethical action, all built on the understanding that people naturally seek good and nourishing choices rather than harmful ones, and that every decision carries consequences. By consciously choosing what is beneficial and just, individuals can live a life that is independent, secure, and genuinely fulfilling. As I prepared to leave Vietnam and move to the United States, these lessons remained with me. The experiences of my early life, the sights, sounds, and values of 1,990 990 seconds. Vietnam shaped my understanding of health, wealth, and freedom. Moving to a new country meant carrying these principles forward, learning to navigate new systems while holding onto the foundation of balance, fairness, and conscious choice that had guided me since my youth, even while reflecting on the ways society had previously limited freedom and enforced harmful traditions. Growing up in Vietnam in the 90s was a time full of simple yet unforgettable joys. For a child, the city and countryside were like endless playgrounds, waiting to be explored. One of my favorite pastimes was riding my bike around the city, feeling the wind on my face and discovering new streets with friends. Every corner seemed to hide something exciting: a small park, a street vendor selling fresh fruits, or an alleyway full of laughter and games. Exploring new places with friends was always thrilling. We would sneak out to see what was happening in different neighborhoods, peek into new shops, or just wander until we found something interesting. The sense of freedom and curiosity made every day an adventure. And when the rain came, it became even more fun. Playing in the rain, splashing through puddles, and feeling the cool drops on our faces made ordinary afternoons magical. Food was another highlight of childhood. Eating fresh, juicy fruits from local markets, mangoes, longans, rambutans, was both delicious and fun. Sometimes, we would even combine cooking with creativity, making snacks or simple dishes with friends and family. These experiences taught us joy in small things, sharing, and imagination. I also loved expressing myself through art and fashion, drawing animals, plants, forests, mountains, and flowers that would capture the beauty of nature and the world around me. Designing cool outfits for myself or friends was another way to show creativity and personality, turning everyday life into a canvas. Traveling to famous tourist spots, even within Vietnam, felt like big adventures. We could visit beaches, historical sites, or temples whenever we wanted, feeling the excitement of new sights and stories. And when we stayed home, games were always a way to connect, compete, and laugh together. Other activities, like taking self-defense classes, added a sense of confidence and independence. Every hobby, from biking to art, cooking to learning new skills, made childhood vibrant and full of discovery. The 1,990 seconds in Vietnam were not just a time of play, but a time to grow, explore, and feel the world with curiosity, freedom, and joy.